Is it working? I think it's working, yeah. Sweet. So, hello everyone. In our last video we talked about SKT Huni and how he's gonna do at Worlds and how he was doing in solo queue. Today we're gonna ask ourselves the question, where is SKT UNTARA? Personally, this guy for me was one of the best top laners in the split. I watched a lot of his solo queue games and I tried to learn from him. So I'm gonna find out how he's doing in solo queue and where he is, and see if there's anything new he's doing if he's been playing bad or whatever, because we haven't seen him in solo queue. One thing to note though is that he's still at the top of the ladder and he plays consistently on this account, and he's rank 5 right now, so he's obviously doing very well individually. But maybe there's something we don't know about the team. But let's watch his solo queue for now. Let's see how he does in here. So he's playing Jax versus Jarvan. It's a pretty good matchup. I like this matchup a lot because it's very skill based in my opinion. Both of these guys can win the matchup. It's a very close matchup overall. First of all, we're gonna look at what he's doing. He's doing something level 1. This is something I always recommend you guys to do. If you want to climb elo, do something level 1. It's always good to do. Don't be lazy, do something level 1. You see him straight up invading. He just starts up going into the enemy jungle instantly. And I want to lower the sound a little bit actually. There we go. So he starts up invading, finding out where the enemy jungle starts. This is very helpful for him because now he knows where he starts. He got a ward on the red buff. He can see when the red buff goes down. And he knows when he can play aggressive and passive. And he's not going to lose anything for doing this entire thing. You see the enemy bot lane doing the same because they also wants to play at the highest level and get their elo right. Which is a very good thing to do. So he goes up, clears the minions. Wait, I'm just going to put up the Twitch chat quickly over there. Let's get over here. So he goes up, clears the minions. He's playing aggressive on the Jarvan because he's stronger than Jarvan in trades. But he will be losing poke battles because Jarvan obviously will have his Q at level 2. He's going in on Jarvan because he got the level advantage. This is very good. UNTARA is actually winning this very hard right now. I'm surprised that Jarvan took so much damage. He's been taking a lot of damage, and UNTARA is standing far up just to keep the pressure up because UNTARA knows he doesn't have a Q yet. He doesn't have to fear anything. And he can simply just go all the way up to Jarvan at all times until Jarvan's level 2. Then he needs to be a little careful and try to dodge those spears. So he's doing a good job. He's pushing in here. He knows that Zac started, he knows everything that's going on, and he saw that Zac didn't straight up do the red buff, so he knows that as well. Which is something he spot on the ward he had. Which is also why Evelyn is invading right now. Like, Evelyn knows he hadn't done the red yet, so he's gonna think, oh, I'm gonna try and invade and take this buff off. The Zac, who is most likely in the bottom side because he didn't do red buff, or he's camping around. Taurus is pushing in the wave, this is normal, it's the third wave, and now he can help out the Eve if he needs to. He's gonna go take the wave behind. He is ready to help the Eve if needed. And by taking this wave this far down, while knowing he can't get game, because Zac should be in the bottom side, they already determined that because the red buff is up. Zac should be in the bottom side. By doing this, he actually puts a lot more pressure on Jarvan. He made a small mistake and lost his minion. But even then, because he lost a minion, he just walked back to get an XP range of it and got the XP, which is the most important thing. Now he got all the pressure in the world. He pushed the wave really quickly. He can move wherever he wants. He got a new ward on the double gums, which is very good for him because now he can spot Zac. The second Zac base is down here, Zac is going to be basing or ganking bottom or mid. Mid can't be ganked, so he can gank bottom. You see him right here. Or he was base. There's the two options, right? In this situation, he ganks bottom, which means UNTARA knows right now. If he hadn't ganked bottom, he would have based and gone for the double gums, and he would see him do that as well. Which means he is tracking the enemy jungle at all times, right? With his wards and his aggressive plays. He's going in the jungle right now. He will win this trade. As I said all the time, he will win every trade, but he will lose all the poke battle, right? Which is Jarvan's advantage, so Jarvan can keep queuing him down. So Jax wants to push at all times. How many potions does he have left? He has 0 potions left. He wants to push and try to get a base off soon-ish. That's what I would do if I was Jax. You need to get a base soon-ish at some point once you have the gold you need. And he should be nearing the gold he needs and wants for the first phase. How much gold does he have? He got 800 gold, which means he can buy a Drone's Blade and what's it called, that item? The snowballing item, the Dark Steel, exactly. He can buy that item. There's a lot of items you can get. And he got Jarvan really low, so he's going to keep pushing now. He still wants to base at some point. Jarvan is going to base, TP back, and UNTARA wants to base as well. That's why he's trying really hard to push, using every single ability he got, just to push that wave in quickly. So he's going to base up. He needs that base. Jarvan just based. He is currently outplaying Jarvan really hard. Jarvan is actually supposed to be even in this match, in my opinion, early. But Jarvan's getting absolutely clapped, and UNTARA is getting in some really good trades. Let's see what items he buys. So Drone's Blade, that's normal. He buys it every time. Dark Shield is also very common. You can buy other items. He can also get a pink ward right now. He doesn't want to get a pink ward. He just wanted to trade armor. That's normal, right? He was waiting for some money, getting an armor. That's good. He could also bought a pink ward, but I didn't know if he had enough armor for the cloth armor. Or enough money, sorry. So right now he's doing a good job. He's going to keep pushing. Always push his Jax. That's what you want to do. As long as you have vision on the enemy jungler, you want to be pushing if you can. He wants to be careful about pushing too fast. That's also why I see him stopping pushing right now, because he wants to keep the minion wave at the exact time he wants to have them. You see the next minion wave coming in? That's what he wants. He doesn't want his minion wave to push too far up to the enemy. So he's just waiting a little bit there, getting the minions to be at the exact point he wants. And he's going to keep pushing now. See, he's keeping his stacks up. He keeps pushing. He's probably not going to go on the Jarvan before he knows where Sag is. Unless he knows where Sag is, he doesn't want to trade with the Jarvan. As you see, he's playing kind of careful. And he's pushing. He's level 6 though. So he will win every trade really hard. If he have a feeling where the Sag is, he will be going. I'm not sure if he got that feeling. I don't think so. Because you can see he's not going at all. He's not hitting at all on the Jarvan. He does not know where Sag is. That's a fact already. You can see that on his play. LG would be going on the Jarvan. And his team also just made a play in the bot lane. Which means Sag will have to show in the bot lane. Like, there's something you guys need to notice. If your team Evelyn is making a play bottom, if Sag shows, then you know he is. If he doesn't show, that means he's most likely top. Most likely, in most cases, he will be top in that case. Like, sure, there's times where you're wrong about that, but if you just take that as a general rule of thumb, you'll be pretty good about that. And now he can start hitting the Jarvan because he's much stronger than Jarvan. He's already winning. He got more items. If you look at the items again, he got 3 items. Jarvan have 2. They're roughly around the same gold worth. Actually, they're exactly the same gold worth. So he just got 1 more item, the cloth armor, which is helping him out tremendously. That armor, 15 plus armor, is helping him out a lot. He's going back behind the Jarvan. He can fight this. He can fight this, but he doesn't necessarily want to. Okay, he does. I think that's mainly because he managed to dodge the ability, and then he Qs away to dodge the Q. That's really nice. I like that Q a lot from UNTARA. But the thing is, he doesn't want to chase around the Jarvan. Jarvan walked up to him and he was like, okay, I can just dodge your attack and then I can hit you. So that's fine. But he doesn't want to be chasing the guy around. He will be winning every trade. He's dodging a lot of Qs. I really like this movement. This movement is really fucking good. Often you will see Jax just simply get hit by the Jarvan. But you see how UNTARA is walking around the creeps at all times, right? Like, he's not just standing in the middle of the creeps hitting. He's walking around. He's making circles all the time. And those circles is the reason why Jarvan isn't consistently hitting him. It's all about them small circles he's making. And a lot of people won't notice that and think, oh, Jarvan's just not trying to hit him. But the Jarvan's actually trying to hit UNTARA a lot of the time because he needs to. He's gonna go down. He needs to either get vision, pressure, or maybe gank mid. Like, he's looking like what the fuck to do right now because he pushed in. There's nothing to do up here. He's walking down because he knows Sag is not here, so he's safe. Right now he got a lot of options. He can go put wards up here. He can put a ward up with the red buff if he wants. He can gank mid if he wants. So he's looking mid. Talia is dead. He can't do anything here. Okay, that option is gone because Talia is dead. So can he actually do anything? Does he want to do anything? He sees Sag down here, so putting a ward is kind of useless for him. It doesn't do anything. So he doesn't want to put a ward either. So he's just gonna stay here. Maybe the Jarvan comes. Maybe he can fight the Jarvan and bait him in. And as you see, this creeps are starting to die, so he walks up to get the CS instead. This is very good. I like this. This was pretty much textbook perfect. Like, there's nothing different to do. He did everything he was supposed to do. He looked, he checked what's going on. He couldn't do anything, so he walked back to the lane. Now he does a lot of damage to the Jarvan with the third hit. There's a lot of damage. He gets them off twice. 2 third hits and 1 W. That's really, really good. It's a ton of damage, and Jarvan just stood there and took it out. Very, very dangerous. So, watching this play, I feel like UNTARA is playing incredibly good. And this is really high elo, right? He's playing incredibly good. He's doing exactly what he wants to do. And he's doing a similar thing now. But right now he's thinking, you know what? I'm so much stronger than Jarvan. I'm going to push this wave. Sag isn't here. Just find out where he is. He knows Sag isn't here, obviously. Because else he wouldn't make this play. So he's going in. He's pushing. He's creating a lot more extra pressure by doing this. Because Jarvan can't handle him. You always want to push behind the enemy turret if you can for free. But the problem is that if you guys try and do that, you guys are probably going to fuck up. Let's be honest. You guys are probably not going to be good enough to do that. If he finds a ping watch, he's going to take it. He knows where Jarvan is. It's most likely because the blue is spawned and he's thinking up. And you also see the enemy mid laner having the blue buff now. So he definitely knew about that. Pushing in still. Just pushing. Hitting the tower a lot. See how strong he is right now. So Jax is currently 20 CS up almost. 19 to be exact. Got a 400 gold lead, which is a lot of money. And he's getting the tower right now. The tower will probably not drop. It's not going to drop in this wave. But he's getting very low. Jarvan is teleporting to it. Jax will need to push this wave, but he doesn't know where Sag is. So he's just going to back off. Maybe he'll base as well for his own item. And we see him basing right here because he doesn't have any vision. He doesn't have any vision. He doesn't have any pressure. He knows the red buff is up. This is the information he got. Which means Zac is most likely in the top side jungle. If Zac is here right now, he can't know for sure where exactly Zac is. If he's already in the top side, Jarvan just teleported back and have spent a total of 2,600 gold on items, while Jackson only spent 1,600. Then he's obviously gonna lose. So he's gonna base. He's gonna buy a Fate. I could have said that. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. He bought a Fate. It's kind of common, right? He wants to chase the Jarvan down. He's always stronger than Jarvan. He wants to simply hit him and chase him down. It's the best item to do because you want to be consistently hitting an opponent, and you're sticking to them better with having the Fate. So it's the #1 item on Jax if you're playing against a tank that you can beat. He's pushing in the wave. He got Evelyn coming up. They will force the top tower. That's what they want. They obviously want to kill Jarvan too, but that's not the objective here. The objective is to get the tower. I think they fucked up the minion wave here. He pushed a little too hard. He was getting excited because he saw this hot lady coming up to his lane. He's like, oh, I'm going to push for you. But at the end of the day, that was a mistake. Now the wave is too close to the tower. You didn't want this. You wanted to wait a little bit and get the next wave out and then smash it in. That would have been much better for them. The tower's still really low. They want to get this tower right. And this should be able to win a 2v2. Doing a lot of damage on the Jarvan. Evelyn doesn't need to do anything here because she doesn't want to show yet. They want to be fighting the Jarvan on the tower. She really doesn't need to show yet. She still wants it to be a secret because if he shows, Jarvan will get out. Now Jarvan is dead, however, because he didn't show. Maybe he flashes out. He actually flashes out really nicely. But they double flash after him and they get him. They could have gotten this much more clean. If they stayed together, if they stood together, Jarvan ultimate somebody, Untara wouldn't have been caught off and could be secure after Jarvan's flash. But they had split up, so Jarvan could actually burn 2 flashes instead of only 0. So that was a mistake from Untara and Evelyn, but still good. It's still good, right? They got a tower. He's dominating his lane, and he got the kill. That's absolutely textbook perfect. So they're gonna be pushing in here. Just push all the way. After this, he could go for the tower a little bit, but not that long, right? He knows he's alone up here, so he could hit the tower now, but there's no need to hit this tower because at the end of the day, if he does 800 damage to this tower, it's not going to kill the tower. He'll kill the tower later anyways. It's not a big deal. He doesn't need to do that. He's walking into the enemy jungle. Maybe he's looking for play mid. Maybe he's looking for the crab. Maybe he's looking for base because he's looking, what can I do? Mid lane, he can't gank mid lane, right? He cannot gank a little Blanc. That's stomping Talia. It's not going to happen. So he's just basing, and Talia wasn't even there as well. I don't know how much money he has. I can't predict his buy. He bought a Sheen. This is kind of normal. You want Sheen if you can. You want Stinger if you can get Sheen, and so on. Sheen is good. He's very strong. He doesn't even have boots yet. That's something to note, right? Like a lot of people, he just got boots. Never mind. Did he have boots before? Or am I blind? No, he doesn't have boots. Alright, he buys boots now. But this is something to note, right? A lot of people, in my opinion, all rate boots. You don't need to buy boots that early because the movement speed isn't that necessary, especially when you have Fate. You're generally okay. He ended up buying boots anyways because he had the money for it. I didn't check his money, so I didn't know that. But at the end of the day, boots are generally overrated, I think, in these kind of matchups, and you want raw strength stats a lot of the time, in my opinion. He walks back to the lane, and he is obviously going to lose this, right? He's going to lose. There's 2 enemies, and bot lane is overpowered. He won't be able to beat these guys. He's just going to try and hold his tower for as long as possible. He doesn't know where Zac is. He's being really, really careful here, just staying in XP range, being careful. His objective here is to not die. His objective isn't to see it, it's to not die. And as you can see here, he fucked up that objective, right? He fucked up Wickd's objective. And I think if he had activated E, then Zac came in, or then this chick came in, right? If he had activated E instantly, please don't crash. Okay, doesn't crash. If he activated E right there, instantly, the second goes for him, then he would have been able to survive. But at the end of the day, it is really difficult to do. But his only objective was to not die. He ends up dying. That's bad. He should have been more careful. He makes a mistake. It's not good. Getting CS doesn't matter here. It really doesn't matter. He should have been standing further down, further away from her, because then he would have been in a safer position. But he tries his best to try and get a kill in return. It's pretty close, I think. If he got the E off earlier, he would have killed them. But sadly, he did not. And now he's dead. Now he paid for his crimes. In the meantime, his team is doing the exact same thing to the Jarvan. This is a normal play, right? This is something that happens every game. Jarvan is doing the same thing and dies. Top laners often try to overprotect the tower and end up dying a lot. It's very, very common. Let's wait to see till Tower is back alive. Alright, he's going back top, obviously. He's a split pusher. He wants to be back top lane. He's having good CS. 111 at 13 minutes. That's really good. Jarvan's still very far behind and completely useless. And Untara is just gonna smash this wave out. There's nothing to fear right now. Then she was probably doing Herald on base. Let's see what they're doing. Or they could gank mid. Could also gank Untara, but they're most likely not. Let's see what they're doing. They based. Alright, now they know that. There's so many wards. Look at all the wards from the enemy team. That is incredible. That's a beautiful amount of wards. Anyways, back to Untara. He's pushing it up. He's gonna shove this wave. There's no reason not to. And after this wave, he's probably not gonna go further, because he doesn't have the vision necessary to push any further than this. So he's gonna go down, get some wards, maybe find a fight out that he wants to fight. So there's a lot of things to do. Even do the crab. Because crab is gone, he can't take the crab. He's going down to help out with the fight. Talia is caught. Talia is extremely weak actually. He's doing a lot of damage to the LeBlanc, but he won't be able to finish her off. And obviously he needs to start running away because he's 1v3 right here. Untara doesn't realize he's 1v3 and just ends up getting into a really bad situation here. Maybe thought his team could back him up more or something, but overall this was a terrible situation. He was 1v3. He jumped in 1v3, man. I don't know what to say. That was terrible. It was just terrible. He was tunnel vision, didn't have the pressure or the map advantage he should have had. Didn't have the pressure he needed from the team. Very tunnel vision and all. Just a terrible play, right? He's gonna go back top. Let's see what items he got now. He still doesn't have his 24, so he haven't been getting any items for the last 4 or 5 minutes. He's still very, very close to 24. He needs a tiny bit of gold, but he's just not there yet. Pretty terrible for him. He needs to farm. Like, he's in a bad spot now because he's not really far ahead of the Jarvan anymore. If you look at the Jarvan and look at him, he got 900 gold lead. That's still good, you know, but he was really far ahead in levels. He was really far ahead in everything. Now he's like half level up. He was absolutely demolishing Jarvan, and now he's ahead. He's strong, right? But he's not destroying Jarvan completely out of this world. And that's about the team's difference, you know? The team difference is pretty huge. Untara is having a worse team, and he's not very happy about that. He's in a bad situation right now. He's gonna walk around. He can't go push top, right? Like, look at this, look at this. It's so black in here. Everything is black. He can't push this wave out, so he's just leaving it here, and he's finding else things to do. Maybe he can get vision in, you know, and after getting vision, he can push it out. Or maybe he can find a fight with the team. Currently, he's going down. He's finding a fight with the team. He found 2 people in here. He's going in, activates ultimate, goes into E, misses the stun. He queued too early, that was bad. Now he's dead. He's actually alive. He's probably gonna get caught though. He's jumping over to the double ground, so that's actually nice. It's a good way to escape. And then he's gonna base here and try to see if he was sneaky enough and then find him. But Jarvan is too smart and just catches right up to him. Well, the problem here is just that his team is too weak. I think what he did was somewhat okay. The only problem was he didn't consider that his team is extremely weak and shouldn't be trying to make any practical plays because they're too weak for that. And that's the main problem. And also he missed his EQ, right? He should have E'd earlier and then Q'd on to the opponent up here and stunned them instantly, but he was still having the E activated and couldn't reactivate it instantly because it was on cooldown. Alright, Lula's getting killed. Jax is respawning. Let's just wait for see Jax. So he should have 24s this time, right? He got 24s, good. He wants to split push still. He's gonna go bottom. It's the only way for him to go. He wants to split push. He's gonna smack out the waves. There's nothing to fear right now, so he's speeding up. It's not fear in this wave either. The next wave is gonna be a little more scary. A little more scary. Here's the thing. The enemy team just TP'd top, so he might have a chance to just shove it in. He might think, you know what? I should be somewhat fine. He sees the LeBlanc. He's kind of like, who's still missing? Who's still missing? He's not really sure what to do here. And he wants to get some vision out because he doesn't have any vision. He meets Jarvan, or he sees Jarvan. Sees the Rakan. He knows where they are. He's getting some vision out, or he's going to go for another fight. There's always 2 options, right? He's walking behind mid. He wants to go for another fight. You see him flanking. He's coming in. He activates the stun perfectly this time. This was a good stun, right? Last time he made a mistake of activating E too late the first time and couldn't activate it instantly on the second time. This time was perfect. He gets a very nice flank and kills 2 people. And you see he learned from the last time. He always was like, you know what, last time I fucked up. I'm going to activate it extra early. He actually activated it incredibly early. And that was good. Now he's just going to go bottom. He's still a split pushing champion and push out bottom. Maybe he's going to find a plant. He doesn't find a plant. He's doing the crab. He can do the crab in the way. That's fine. He doesn't lose any time for doing that. Tex is really quick at doing the crab because he got so much damage and he got his E to stun it as well. He's moving down. He's pushing in. He's probably going to push 2 waves here. The enemy team is dead. The bot lane is dead for 1 second more, which means they're not going to be able to arrive. If he pushes 1 more wave bottom, they will not be able to catch him. He sees everybody in the map. This is completely safe. Go for it. And he also sees that. He goes for it. It's very good. After this, he's low on mana. He probably wants to base. Oh yeah, he does base instantly. He probably wanted to base because he's low on mana. Else he could have roamed mid like he did last time. His bot lane is getting caught and they're dying. That sucks for him. He's probably like, fuck you guys, bot lane. You guys suck dick. That's okay. So, Untara is walking back out to the mid lane. He can't defend this. His only job again is to survive. Maybe try and kill this Herald. Herald would be nice to kill. But defending is impossible alone. He's 1 versus 2. He can't do it, and there's a Herald as well. He goes out to kill the Herald, and that's very nice. So let's see what's going on here. The Herald is going down. Very good play by UNTARA. His item, we got Tiamat as normal. You want to go for Titanic Hydra right after the 24s. In most cases, that is the common build that you go. You can also go different builds if you want a snowball, but UNTARA is not snowballing this game, so this is the common build. You want to build it every single time if you're not absolutely destroying your opponents. He's not going to fight LB right here. LB is level 14. You just look at the level. 14 versus 12. You don't want to fight her. And also, he does not have any mag resist in his items. He got a total of 46 MR. He got nothing in here. He can fight if she jumps into him like this and he gets the stun off. But if he doesn't, he's dead. Instantly dead. He was too greedy. I'm not really sure why he decided to go for that push, because he knew exactly where she was. He actually ends up getting a kill by dodging her abilities. That was incredible. Basically, he should lose this fight every single time because he doesn't get the stun off. If you get stun off, it's fine. You can fight it, you know, no problem. But at this point, he should lose. The only reason he doesn't lose is because LB plays it really badly. LB does not have one fact, and UNTARA's playing very nice with the vision down here. But LB can just clap him right now. If she plays it properly, she will kill him. She jumps in without her abilities too early. She even had a ward in that bush. She even had a ward the whole time. She had a ward in this bush the whole time. She saw him. Let's watch this again. Let's watch the LB fuck up again. Look at her cooldowns. Look at her cooldowns go. She have her Q in 4 seconds, 3 seconds. She doesn't need to go yet. She can just wait 3 seconds. Just wait a little bit. And then go bam. He's dead. He can't escape that. But because you're so greedy, you end up dying. You should not die here, LB. That was terrible from LB. Wasn't good from UNTARA either because he missed his stun, right? But he got a kill anyways because everything else he did was really well done. And LB fucked up massively. He bases, he TPs to the Baron because obviously you want to TP to the Baron fight. It's normal, right? It's a big Baron fight. Kills one guy alone, TPs to the Baron fight. He's going to come in from the side and the flank. Then we all got Baron, but he still thinks they should be able to win this fight because he killed the enemy mid laner alone, who was very, very fed. Look at the enemy mid laner. She is 7-3. His mid laner is useless. So now it's a 4v4 instead of 5v4. Because his talent uses anyways, so he doesn't even count as a champion. So he thought maybe we can win this fight. This is the best fight to take, and we also want to deny the enemy the Baron buff that they have and kill as many people as possible. They end up losing the fight, but he ends up getting 2 kills for his team. He got the LB, which he did really well, aside from his stun. And then he got the Jarvan. So overall, I think his TP was well worth it. The enemy team only have 2 Baron buffs now, and they can't split push. 2 of the split pushing guys, Jarvan and LB, lost the Baron buff, which is huge. Absolutely huge. So walking around, there's nothing to do here actually. He's going to go push mid probably. He just wants to push out lanes right now because Baron is up. Oh, not Baron's up. Baron buff is up on the enemy team. And it's very dangerous. He wants to push out the waves and make sure they can't take the inhib towers. He might lose the outer towers, like here, the second towers. That's okay, but if you lose one of these, it's going to be a very tough game. So he's trying to push out all the waves. He's doing Grom quickly, getting some money because Jax is very fasted. And then he's going to go top and push out that wave too, most likely. He's a bit scared. He sees the ping wall. He's going to take that. He's still going to go top and push that out. Because that's all he needs to do. Even if he dies pushing out a wave, if he pushes out far enough and puts enough pressure, sometimes it can be worth dying from. Goes on Jarvan. Jax beats down. We already established this. He even does the EQ comp, which was really nice. And he's absolutely demolishing this guy. He might even catch him. He still got flashed. He can flash in for the stun here. He does flash in for the stun. And he played literally everything perfect, pretty much. Takes boot perfect. Really nicely done, UNTARA. Good job. That blue buff helped you out with the cooldown. It was really nice to see. And you're just going to smack in this wave overall. I think he should keep pushing here. He can base and try to help defend. His team should be able to defend 3 versus 4. Actually, maybe not. 3 versus 4 is maybe hard. 4v4, I think they could do it somewhat. But the Talia somewhat got caught and she's dead right now. Lula's getting caught. Lula's dead as well. There's no way they can defend this. Even if Jax was there, I don't think they would be defending this tower. They'd be struggling. So he's just going for the push, you know. His team is getting absolutely demolished down here. You can even see the levels. This guy is dead as well, getting caught. Talia's back alive. The enemy team is legit just killing his team in the base. No turrets are down. They just went in for the kills. They don't give a fuck. UNTARA, meanwhile, is getting an inhibitor top. I think this is good for him. He's doing the right thing. He can't help out enough. And if he base, the enemy team is obviously gonna back off a little bit and not do these crazy plays, right? He gets the tower. He bases just because he doesn't want the enemy team to finish because his team entered. Defending this is going to be extremely impossible. He won't be able to defend this 1 versus 4. 1 versus 5, so Jarvan even TP it in. He's dodging that. That's really nice. Playing everything good, getting a good stun up, running around, kiting really well. He's gets locked down and tanks all the damage and just dies. But I think he did well. He does the Raka knock up. He does some other stuff. He got really good stun on the people, and overall he did everything he could, you know, to slow them down. But in the end, the enemy team is too strong at this point, and there's not much he can do. There's just not much he can do in that point. I think that's mostly on his team. He played actually incredibly well in this game. I'm very impressed. He played really well. His mechanics were on point. He made some very small mistakes throughout the whole game, which is nothing. It's not a big deal. And he ends up losing games though, that's fine. You know, his team wasn't as good as the enemy team, but overall I think Untara played real well. And personally, I'm surprised not to see him at Worlds. Not to see SKT choosing him. I think he was better than Huni in my opinion. I liked him more than Huni. I liked his play. And I actually watched him quite a lot. I watched him quite a lot on solo queue, and I watched him quite a lot at competitive games. So I would love to see him at the tournament. Alright, let's play some solo queue now. Let's go for some solo queue.